So here we are, nearing the end of a highly contentious presidential campaign. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris have hit the campaign trail, tossing hate bombs at each other, hoping that they can scare swing voters into voting against their opponent. My guess is that about 30% want Trump to win, 30% want Harris to win, and 40% of us wish that we had different choices. In this video, I will illustrate how we can re-engineer politics to serve our nation instead of a few partisans. You're watching Re-Engineering Politics, which provides objective information on political matters so that you can make informed political decisions for a better America. If you want to see more videos like this one, please like, share, and subscribe. Imagine this. You have built a great business. You now want to hire a CEO to run that business. You want this CEO to continue your company's successes and correct its failures. In the past, you would have drafted a position description, advertised on all of the popular job sites, shortlisted qualified candidates, and then interviewed the shortlist candidates until you found the right CEO to run your company. This time, you're convinced that you can do better by following a different process. So you decide to let your employees find the CEO who will best lead them to prosperity. Your employees want different things, but they all should want your company to succeed. I mean, after all, they'll benefit if your company grows and prospers. It doesn't take long for your employees to create factions. As it turns out, about 40% of the employees work in the service department, and 40% work in the manufacturing department. Now, the service workers want a CEO who prioritizes service over manufacturing. And you guessed it, the manufacturing workers want a CEO who prioritizes manufacturing over service. Your employees agree that they will seek out their best candidate for the CEO position, and then each side's pick will compete to win the job. The first stage of the selection process is done by each faction. The service people seek out candidates who share their love for service and hatred for manufacturing. After a few emotionally driven interviews, the service people are excited to present their candidate. They're sure that their service department will grow, which is what they believe will result in prosperity for all. The manufacturing side, well, they do the same thing. Both candidates gather all the employees and hold rallies to get their side's employees excited to give them the CEO job. There's a group of administrators and some manufacturing and some service workers who are disappointed in their choices for CEO. However, they have no choice but to pick one candidate over the other. I mean, I suppose that they could opt not to vote at all, but this would mean that the candidate that they least favor will be their new boss. The people in manufacturing and service didn't always see eye to eye in the past. However, now the division is highly charged as both CEO candidates try to convince the company that they're the best for the job. And it's apparent to you that neither candidate who was selected by their respective faction would even have made your shortlist. You decide to halt the process, and you go back to hiring the old way to fill the position of CEO. Now, it's easy to see how the hiring process fails for a company. It should be equally easy to see why this process is failing to find the best individual to lead our country. Had the service candidate won the election in our story, he or she would have catered to the service workers and ignored the manufacturing part of the business. This individual would not have prioritized the market demands of the customers, and the company would have failed. Now, I'm not advocating that we drop the election process in our democratic republic. However, I'm trying to illustrate how we must behave differently for self-government to work. Let me illustrate how the CEO hiring process may have worked better. So all of the employees list the skills that they need to grow their company. The CEO must understand how to gain customers, create superior products, and then offer services to their customers that they genuinely need. The CEO must be fair-minded with employees, rewarding good behavior and penalizing bad behavior. Once employees understand the skills that are needed for the CEO, they're better positioned to vote for the best CEO. Candidates who want the CEO position, well, they learn what skills are required and then they advocate for themselves based on the skills that have been outlined by the employees. Instead of service workers and manufacturing workers picking their candidate, all employees rank the CEOs based on how they perceive that CEO will perform for the company. So let's bring this back to how we would select the best leader for our country. The only way that self-government can be better than a dictatorship or a monarchy is if we grow. The two key areas of growth are, first, people must be educated on cause and effect of political decisions. And second, faction-based elections must be eliminated. People will still look out for their own interests when voting, as they should. The blending of individual desires along with a higher degree of knowledge will result in a better government. A few ideas that have surfaced are, first, ridding ourselves of political parties. Second, eliminating primary elections. And third, adopting ranked choice voting to try to eliminate the digital black or white voting that we have today. I am endorsing the idea of eliminating primary elections. However, I don't think that eliminating political parties or ranked choice voting will have any effect until voters educate themselves on political topics. And that is the driving force behind reengineering politics. My hope is to present the salient features of political ideas in an objective way so that my audience can make informed decisions on political topics. Without this education, voters are better off picking a political party that caters to most of their needs. If you want to be one of those educated voters, please subscribe to my channel to get notified when I publish new videos. If you're an open-minded person who wants to learn more about politics, please join my Reengineering Politics Facebook group. I've left a link to this group in the description below. If you want to explore political issues more deeply than you can in weekly videos, I highly recommend my book, Engineering Unity, A Path to Resolving Political Polarization in the United States. Each chapter highlights relevant political topics, presenting the positions of the left and the right, and a viable compromise between the two. Thanks for watching, and I hope you return for more political insight that's neither left nor right.